here. Yep.
Is it working?
We're in.
Oh, we're amateurs.
You gonna hit the music? Don't forget to take your AirPods out.
No, these aren't even connected this week.
Oh, okay.
I got to figure it out this time. A little bit better than last time. All right, everybody retweet this, right? It's working.
Oh yeah, I have to do that. Hold on one second.
I'll delete the bad one. Sorry, we screwed up, but I forgot to change CJ Cup to ZOZO. Okay.
Grab a beer and let's talk some golf.
Oh, Lord. $7:30.
Right on time.
Who would be here anyway?
Where's Nagel's Bagels?
He should be here. He might pop in. We'll see. I know he's a busy man, all except for Wednesday nights.
I've trolled him enough in his life. He should be here.
But I did add, if you are here, Nagels, Chad's made so many improvements to his studio. I did throw up the Nagels Bagels ball right here.
Oh, floating in the air.
Threw a couple screws in the wall. Floating shelf. What do you know?
Brilliant.
Shout out.
All right, no time like the present, right, boys? Let's do this.
Let's roll.
Oh, hey, everybody. I'm Chad Eckert, and that's Joe Idone. This is the Preferred Lines podcast, where we're streaming on the internet, 3 different places, YouTube, Twitch, and Periscope, because we're technological geniuses.
You are.
I got the music to play this week. Feeling good.
Let's go.
The ZOZO. It's not in Japan. It's in California, and I'm not in California. I'm in my garage in Minnesota, just cracking a beer.
Well, I need to got a little makeshift barbecue lighter here. There we go.
Well, if you're not watching, he's using a lighter. So that's interesting.
So is our boy Capping. Way to be, bud.
Yeah, well, there you go. Okay, so Joe's in Florida. We got a guest that's from California down the road. Am I not mistaken? This course is in your backyard. Strokes gained capping. Welcome.
Yes, sir.
How you
we
doing?
are actually on the 9th tee box right now. Pumped to be with you guys. Thanks for having me.
It looks really light out there.
It is light. When this picture was taken, it was light.
And you took it yourself?
Perhaps.
That's the point.
So our guy here is obviously one of the most mysterious guys in the golf Twitter world, and he remains so. So we're just going to go nameless. We don't even – you wouldn't give it to us. We don't know his face. He's masked up for safety reasons, but he's here to join us for the front 9. He's got some insight. We're going to talk to him. You ready to do this, buddy?
Yes, sir. I got a big smile on my face underneath this mask.
I'll just call you Strokes Gained.
You guys can call me GAA.
GAA?
Just GA.
GA.
All right. I'm going to turn this around here. It's like too many backwards hats. Switch things up. All right.
Okay, well, here's how we do it, GA. We do this interview for about 10, 15 minutes, beginning of the pod each Monday night. We're doing this live on all those channels, those places. You can find us there. You can find us on iTunes if this is later in your life. And we try to do it quickly. We try to just pepper you. So I'm going to start by peppering you with the first question is, tell us about a little bit, to a point of whatever you want, of who are you and why'd you start this Twitter account at Strokes Gained Capping?
All right, well, I'm actually in management at a major financial services firm. So That's where you're going to bring the anonymity part into it. I don't think they want me doing this, but I'm super passionate about retirement planning, investing for the future. That's why I like my job. But I'm even more so about golf. I'm a huge golf nerd. Been playing my whole life. I'm a borderline quality mid-am player. I can qualify for a local regional championship every now and then if I'm on top of my game. But I can also lose small fortunes every weekend playing with my buddies because I can't play consistently at all. And I'm usually given some weight there. But I love this game. I love the grind that is required to play good golf. And frankly, just the dream of, someday figuring it all out and going out and playing an amazing round. So I got into fantasy golf at a real early age, early enough that my dad and I remember we split our first roster, and Asayo Aoki was like a huge play back then. But I've been a full-on degenerate in terms of golf gambling for probably a good 10 years. And I really feel like I've settled into maybe a good place in the game. I joined the club that I'm at in the Valley here about 6 years ago, became really good friends with a well-known golf writer, a tour caddy who plays as a +6 handicap, plus all the guys I've come across playing in the local and the regional stuff here. I frequent Westlake driving range. Just saw Matty Wolf over there today with his boy, George Gankus. I remember I saw him after he qualified for the U.S. Junior Am. He went all the way to the finals. So I feel like
wait, that Twitter video you sent out on your Twitter page today of Matt Wolf, that was not at Sherwood's.
That was this morning at a Muni range.
Off the mats.
Off the mats. Yeah.
Oh, like a real person. I love it.
Sherwood does not have mats. Yeah.
Well, dude, tell us a little about, now you've got a podcast of your own,
yeah.
Virtual Live From. You kind of have a unique situation, or
it's highly reviewed by Peter Kessler.
Yeah, Peter Kessler is a huge fan of it. But how did you start that? And like, were you doing that before you started it and found it to be useful when trying to figure out what's going on with these events and just figured you should post something? Tell us about that a little bit. Plug your pod.
Yeah, that's a good question, Joe. I mean, I've always been also like this huge sports radio guy. I loved it. So and then all of a sudden I discovered these fantasy golf podcasts, and I love sports talk radio. I love golf. It was like, man, I felt like I was left out. I felt like I needed to be a part of the scene. I always wanted to be, just like George Costanza always wanted to pretend to be an architect. I always kind of wanted to pretend I'm an expert. I'm not an expert though. Yeah, I did stay at a Holiday Inn last night. I don't know. I actually, Joe, to be honest with you, buddy, I like the idea of being comfortable with like a golf course, right? So I think we talk about course history a lot, and I think that's because we want guys, not necessarily that they just love this particular golf course. It's just that I think that they're going to be comfortable there, right? Mm-hmm. So I think, I don't know if you've ever played a tour stop before. I imagine you've played one or two of the places down in Florida, but you're more comfortable going into that. You get it. You just know the course a lot better. And it doesn't guarantee you're going to pick the winners that week. You're just a little bit more comfortable going into that board. Maybe you might see a guy like, no way, that guy's going to play good here. Or for sure a particular style is going to work. So I realized I'm like, once a year when they play Torrey Pines, I really know that place. That's cool. It'd be cool if I could play all these courses and know all of them. And then all of a sudden I kind of got into launch monitors and simulators and TrackMan. Like, kind of can do that. So started playing a couple of them, and I realized that no one does that on this scene. There's a lot of really good voices. I love this community. It's awesome, but no one's playing it on the simulator. And as much as it helps, I think it's also a pretty good bit.
Yeah, totally. Now, but you play in real life, and you've played at Sherwood Country Club a lot. You claim to have played a dozen rounds there this summer alone?
Yes.
How did you get access to this country club? Are you a member there, or what? Do you pay a lot of money? Don't you?
You need to be part of the 0.1% to be a member at this beauty of a place. And as much as I would love that to be me, saving to get there, it's not. But fortunate, one of my best buddies is one of the best guys in the world, and he is part of that and takes me out there every so often. So it's really, really cool.
Okay, so tell us about it. We want to know everything about the course, the grass,
every single thing. Every single thing.
Bunkers, are they in play? Where, I don't even know. Tell us everything. We want to know it all.
Well, look at behind me. This place, it looks beautiful, right? It's a beautiful place. it's very fitting, I think, that we're coming from last week at Shadow Creek. If you recall, Shadow Creek, basically Steve Wynn was like, here's $50 million or more if you need it to build basically some sort of combination of Augusta, Pine Valley, and Sherwood Country Club, because he played out in LA a bunch and belonged here early on. So there is a lot of similarities. You have the same grass, right? Bent grass. We got the ryegrass rough that's going to be overseeded. This particular course though is a Nicklaus design, so that's where we change, right? And now all of a sudden you're talking about you have to work it both ways off the tee. You have to work it both ways with your approach. I think it favors precision over power. Basically, you know, it's a little different in the typical tour course because there's 5 par 3s, 5 par 5s.
Yeah.
Tell us about that. What does that mean, though? Does that mean that there's going to be a certain golfer that can play it better? Are bombers at the advantage here? Is Rahm going to destroy these par 5s? Should we go all in on Rahm?
I don't necessarily think that. Look, and while I think it helps to play the course, like, and if you're a bad golfer and you just like enjoy golf, great. You look at me and you're probably thinking, oh man, this guy's a pretty good golfer. I suck though compared to these guys, but I tend to be more of a bomb and gouge type player. My buddy who takes me over here all the time is much more of a down the middle guy. You know, we're pretty even though in terms of, you know, our scores overall, our handicaps and whatnot. But, you know, he beats me every time here. And yeah, he's the member, but I think it's the precision over the power. I find that every so often I'll have a really, you know, easy hole in front of me because I just bomb a drive, but you shouldn't have hit the driver in the first place, to be honest with you, here, unless you can be finding the fairway. And I think if you go and you look back at like the, you know, we'll talk about it later, I'm sure, is like the Hero World Challenge or the Chevron when it was here. You know, I think it was the precision guys that played the best consistently.
Yeah, it's compared to Harbor Town. I mean, Zach Johnson was in it one year and did well against Tiger in one of those things. So yeah, I mean, who could win? Anybody. That's the way it goes every week, right?
Yeah. What else? I mean, I think you get the course history, but the problem is when they played back in the day, by the way, these guys were all different players because they were younger, a lot younger, but they're playing in December. And in California, we actually do get a winter here, and it doesn't snow, but it gets pretty damn cold and rainy in the morning in particular. So, I'll
roll my eyes at that.
It was 110 degrees last week here. It's a little different. Now it is starting to become fall though. So it's starting to cool off. We'll get a little bit colder mornings, but even back then guys were laying up on some of these par 5s. I still think that it'll play a little into like more like a Webb Simpson's hands.
Okay. One guy I wanted to ask you about, probably the most notable course history guy here, is won it 5 times, is Tiger, right? We get to see Tiger back. We haven't seen him much. He's really pick and chose his schedule. Defending champ, great course history here. Depending where you look, he's around 25 to 30 to 1 this week. What's your gut tell you on Tiger Woods?
Well, you're not going to find a bigger Tiger fan than me, but, you know, we've got to be real. He hasn't had the best form. But if you go back to the Masters last year when he won, he'll tell you he basically didn't really have much form coming in that week. He just sort of found something that week on the range. So we've got to be prepared for Tiger at this point to be able to find something at any point and not necessarily have form coming in. I also don't, we're not going to necessarily get value with Tiger at the same time, but you know, once anything over 20 to 1 for a guy who's won 80 times in his career, you know, it's at least something that we've got to be willing to talk about. Right. And given the fact that he knows this place so well, and given the fact that it seems like it would fit him to a T in the sense that his iron play, will he be able to find the fairway consistently? You still need to be able to hit some drives and command them in a pretty tight T window. And, you know, it's for Tiger, it's, you know, if his back is okay, and that's something we can't really predict. So I don't think it's a terrible number. I don't think it's a terrible bet. It's crazy. We saw like 40 to 1 a couple of weeks ago on Tiger. So knowing that it doesn't get that high tells me, hey, you know, there's something there for him.
Sure. Well, he chose to be here. He wants to be here, but that doesn't necessarily mean that it's number to bet. Maybe would you bet on somebody that you just saw that we've seen? Matt Wolf, is this performance last week something to be concerned about, or are we looking more about his performances the last two times?
If I had to pick another guy I'm a biggest fan of, it's him. It's Wolf, obviously. Having seen him a couple of times at the driving range. I've been on him every single tournament pretty much since he came out at Phoenix when he had Genghis on the bag for him, and it's fine. I hit good enough on the 3M that I'm gonna be okay with these second places that we've had. This week is tough though, and especially now that he's short odds, you really got to kind of decide, hey, am I on this thing and I'm gonna pass on, say, the guys at the tippity tip top, or am I going to am I going to go with the three young guys, like rank the young three? Who knows? By the way, he's played this place a million times and he is now a member. So there is that. But like I said, I saw him this morning at the range and he wasn't exactly in like the best of moods in terms of his attitude towards how he was hitting the ball. The funny thing about that is he was hitting it dead straight, right over the 150-yard sign every single time, and it sounded flush as flush could be. And he's like, he's not happy with it. I'm thinking, like, how can you not be happy with that?
Right.
Another guy I wanted to ask you about, sort of a hot button name this week. He seems to, you'd be hard pressed, I was going to say, to find a guy that just glides from 100 to 1 to 25 to 1 as much as Bubba Watson. Last week, 100 to 1, they cut him all the way down to 25 to 1 this week. Seems like it could be a good setup for him, decent form. Thoughts on Bubba there, 25?
That's a pretty short price for Bubba. I don't love Bubba, but I love Bubba in the sense that I love betting him when I know I feel good about him that week.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't hear Pat Mayo yet. What did he? He would be the guy to tell us on Bubba, I suppose. I'll take his word on that. But I think, like, if I didn't have the course history of Bubba, like, let's just throw out the Chevron World Challenge, which, by the way, there was only 18 players in that field. So what is ninth place there? Is that a good finish? I mean, There's 18 guys in the field, Joe. Yeah, come on.
And that was like 10 years ago. When is this?
It was a long time ago. And again, like I said, it was in the winter. It's wet. So I think the guys that could really bomb it back then even had a little bit more of an advantage. Tiger back then was kind of bomb and precise, right?
Right.
So, but I guess that's a short number for Bubba. There's 5 par 5s though. And that's something that helps. But like I said, if I didn't have the course history on him, it's weird. I don't know if I would pick him. There's the tree line fairways, which helps, and there's the dog legs, so he loves that visual. I feel like, and by the way, like, I play more of a draw. I think Bubba likes that cut, right? So I'm a righty, he's a lefty. That's the same eyesight, I think. He likes to work it both ways, but I think there's more fade holes on this course, more left to right holes, if I had to say. I mean, I wanted to go through this thing, and I'm like, how many holes are there that favor the bomber? How many holes that favor precision player? How many holes that are neutral? How many favor the draw? How many fade? And it's just like a little more to the precise player and a little more to the left to right off the tee kind of guy. So, I mean, and by the way, you can mega mind overthink all this stuff. And then at the end of the day, Wolf, I saw him, he looks like
Oh, no. Is it me?
I got you. Do we?
Oh, no.
Yes.
No. We lost you. Don't talk about Wolf looking like shit. How dare you say that?
My internet connection is unstable.
Yeah, well, welcome to the club.
Yeah, welcome to the club.
No, I've got a question for you, though, about the Sherwood Country Club. You have told us that Wolf's a member there. Give us more tidbits. Do you have anything else, like any insider information, stuff that you're not supposed to tell, and that's why you're wearing a mask?
I have, I've been keeping my ear to the ground. I've been really listening. There's not much there other than Hideki was here a couple of weeks ago. That we know for a fact. He's got a buddy that's a member, and frankly, I kind of like Hideki this week. Okay. It was like that one thing I needed to hear to make me start looking at him. I wanted obviously to hammer DJ this. I wanted him to come in last week and play terrible, pull a Matt Wolf, and then I wanted to hammer him this week, and then he got COVID, and that's gambling right there. Like if you ever have like an angle and you ever have like you might only get it once or twice a year, and you got to hammer it, and then of course you don't even get the chance to hammer it.
Right.
It seems like in the past, like you said when you were looking for DJ, the cream kind of rises to the top here, and the best players typically win. You've got some big names at the top still, Rom, Xander, JT. Who do you think sets up best their game for Sherwood?
I think at the top, JT is like, I love JT. I think it's easy to say JT too, frankly, just because he kind of fits everywhere. But if I had to say, JT is not this bomber, right? If you really look at it, I think he's much more precision player than bomber of those guys. And I think Rory you would say is definitely a little bit more bomber. And I think, Xander, by the way, you cannot ignore Xander this week. He's someone that scares the crap out of me. Mm-hmm. I never seem to get Rom at the right time, whether I'm on him or I'm off of him. Mm-hmm. So I honestly just go permafade. It's not a recommended play, by the way. It's not a good thing, but it's where I'm at right now.
Okay, so then what is your recommended play? What is your preferred play of the week? The one name that you'll give us that will judge you for forever.
Forever. Well, if you're gonna judge me forever, I'm gonna go still with Hideki. I would want to go Webb, but Hideki, I got him at 28-1, which isn't the best number in the world. Like I said, he was out here a couple of weeks ago. He's someone I just think I'm always looking for the guy who's knocking at the door of winning a tournament. Like who's come close, or who's at least playing good to great golf, but it's only just a piece of what they can give us. And I think Hideki, because he's also shown us in the past how great he can be. So, and we know how awesome he is. And these greens are so pure, That's pure. I think
a great call. I agree. Totally. Let's do it. Strokes gain capping. Your time with us is over.
How'd I do? Come see me, guys. Follow me, SG Capping. Come watch me virtual live from. I got more. I love you guys. Thanks, Joe. Thanks, Chad.
Thank you, buddy.
This guy's
Joe, buddies.
Podcast.
Take
care, man. Appreciate you.
It's loved by the Peter Kesslers of the world. If you don't know that story, for some reason, Peter Kessler picked on our guy there. I don't know why.
He's a picker honor, man. He's just an angry little fella.
He's a grumpy old man.
I'm surprised he hasn't picked on us yet.
All right. Is it still on the internet live? Are we still rolling here?
Yeah, we're rolling, man.
All right, cool. If you're watching still, thank you. And do that liking of subscribing, sharing, reviewing, rating, TikToking, clicking. Right. Do that. Because we do this for free and for fun. And we do this out of the goodness of our heart. We do this for you. And because it's kind of fun for us to look at the betting board each Monday night and to talk about it. And at the tippity tip top of the ZOZO Championship board, you have a John Rodriguez at 10-1, but he shares the top with Xander. But you can find these things differently a little bit, maybe. But 10-1 for Xander or Rom interests you? Or are you going to go to Rory or JT at 12-1? Did I lose Joe? Did I lose myself? Oh, fuck. Well, anyway, if it's me, I don't know. I'm sorry. Joe, I got to find out if it's my thing that's frozen. Oh, God. Technical difficulties.
I'm back.
Oh, it was you. Yeah, I was wondering if it was me or it was you.
I think it was you, but we're back.
Oh, shit. Well, whatever. Okay, Joe, I was just talking about, would you rather go Xander or Rom or Rory or JT?
I'd rather go JT.
Okay.
I don't think it's a huge surprise, and I did. He was the first guy that I took this week. Was on him last week. Similar narrative, I guess, for me. Eight in no-cut events. He's now 6 for 22. So his record is still phenomenal in no-cut events.
But don't you do the thing where you wait till he has a bad Thursday and you get his number at like 20 or 28? And then
maybe because he has shown that he seems to have that one bad round, but he's still so close, man, to clicking. Like he's finishing, he doesn't seem to have it all there. And I think that's kind of built into this number, but he's still finished 12th at the US Open. He finished, what was it, or 8th at the US Open, 12th last week. So he's still finishing good. It's like on the precipice of this victory coming. We're just looking for that putting and everything to kind of line up one week, and it doesn't take much for this. But if you look at the guys at the top, I mean, I just kind of feel like he's the most valuably priced. I mean, you take the guy's careers, let's say the last 1, 2, 3 years. Would you rather have Justin Thomas or John Rahm? I think JT has more victories, has more. Same against Xander. You take him up against Xander, he's for sure had more victories. Up against Rory even the last 3 years, and he's probably got a better resume. So, he's played well in the fall swing historically. He's got a good track record on Nicklaus design golf courses as well. Obviously, the 2nd and 18th back-to-back weeks, the Memorial earlier. He's won the Honda Classic before, back when the Sanderson actually was at Annandale, I believe it was, when it was out there, was a Nicklaus design golf course. And that's really where he got his first bump. Like when JT came out, he didn't immediately have success like we're seeing a lot of these guys have. And Spieth was kind of the guy. And his first 15, 16 events, he was struggling to even make the cut. All of a sudden, kind of out of nowhere, he finished 4th at Annandale, which was the Sanderson Nicklaus design golf course. He feels the comfort zone here. He's so good. He's close. A couple things click, and I think he's the best play at the top of the board this week. That was long, but I really like JT, and I'm going to stick on him.
Well, I like JT too, and I'll probably use him on DraftKings. You get him at a little discount there, but I don't know if I can get up to the 10 or 12 to 1 on a JT. I don't like that. I like the 20s, Joe. That's where we've lived and died, is in the 20s. You got Hatton and Webb at 20, Reed and Morikawa at 22, Cantlay and Wolf at 28. And that's what I like, is the Wolf and Cantlay at 28. But of course, you like Reed 22 to 1. It's a new friend of mine on Twitter, so can't deny betting Patty Reed.
I'm freshly blocked.
Yeah, so maybe not a friend of the pod necessarily, but a friend of me. Well, I had to beg for it, but whatever. Either way, I like Wolf and Cantlay in California. That's a thing. Could it be? Yeah, maybe. You can't overlook Morikawa either. And, he had a pretty good showing last week, even though he had a bad showing 2 weeks ago. So I think he's rounding into form. So Morikawa, that's why this juicy range right here, I could even do Webb. So I'm into this range, and I like a guy in this range that it hasn't been that great lately.
Still in the 20s you're at?
Yeah.
Who?
Patrick Cantlay.
I know. I looked at it.
28?
It's a good number. It's a fair number on him. I think he's played well on the West Coast. Something, I don't know, man. Something just hasn't been there for me.
Yeah,
to me,
it's called frustration, Joe. Frustration is setting in for Mr.
You got to pick one, him or Wolf. Who are you going to pick?
Well, at this point, I feel like I'm going to do both of them, but
you can, but I'm saying if you had to pick one, if you already bet Justin
Wolf.
Thomas, you got to take Wolf, man.
But at the same time,
week was the anomaly.
You're not going to get Cantlay at 28 to 1 all the time. So I want to get Cantlay at 20 to 1. Here's why I like him though, Joe, is because he's known typically as being Mr. Consistent, and he hasn't been that lately. It's kind of been a, miscut 12th, 43rd, 8th, 38th, but it's been plus putting weeks, minus putting weeks, back-to-back times he's shown up since July. He can't get the putter on a good week. And then it's driving good, driving bad, approach good, starting to be something, and then it disappears. So I think Cantlay, back in California, comfortable California Cantlay, the C alliteration, I like that there. I like seeing the 28 to 1 number that you don't always see on a Patrick Cantlay. So I'm banking on we need a performance like we saw at the Shriners, where he was good with everything, except he wasn't dialed totally with the approach, which I think we can get that this week, and we can get 28 to 1. And we've seen him pour in some birdies, and I like it. Patrick Cantlay.
I see every reason why you like him. I'm in the position where I think I need to choose either one, him or Wolf. And I'm definitely taking Wolf over him. You talked just there. I mean, in a lot of your points, the fact that how inconsistent Cantlay is when it's 1 week is good, 1 week is bad. Wolf's kind of been the opposite. I think last week was the anomaly. I didn't bet Wolf last week for the first time in forever. And I know everyone, like, I felt horrible, like almost sick about it because everyone told me I should have bet him. My brother told me, a couple of other people that I talked to, I was talking to Jeff Feinberg. He's like, you have to bet Wolf. You have to bet Wolf. I didn't bet him. So I kind of feel like I have free money this week. Like I got away with one.
And the problem was you destroyed him.
Free
How
bet
dare
this
you
week.
bet him every week, please.
You got the lazy sort of narratives you're going to hear all about. Grew up 7 miles away. Capping just told us he's a new member at this course, has played it thousands of times, but you got to like that, right? Going back to a place where he's comfortable at, especially greens, he's comfortable putting on because that's been the biggest thing for him. His approach is off the charts. His proximity is great. Far as anyone. There's 5 par 5s. It should set up terrific for him. And he's got a little bit of familiarity on the green surfaces. 28-1. I love it. Plus, you're getting more points. Last week, what was he, 20-1?
Yeah. Well,
I don't have to sell you on Wolf or probably anyone listening here, but
people were chasing Wolf last week. We knew it. We kind of knew it.
Yeah.
Right. Let's talk about the 30s where you got Finau is back, maybe. Or does he have the Rona still? We don't know. But Hideki is right there too. Strokes gained, cappings, guy. Hideki at 30-1. Hovland or Tiger, 33. You got Bubba, Berger, Fitzpatrick, English, Neiman, Adam Scott, 35s or so. And you can get them different places, different numbers. But that's about the 30 range. And I had a question for you because, of course,
hit me.
Finau and Decky, they're good, but 30, whatever. It's the same conversation we have every week. 33-1. Victor Hovland or Tiger Woods, because I've got to take, I think Hovland is the better play.
I know. I took Hovland last week and was actually kind of locked into him a lot of the week on how he was. I had him in a lot of DraftKings too. He played okay, right? I think he was a little bit of rusty. But true. You're right. I would take him over Mr. Woods this week.
Even though we know Tiger has played here a million times or whatever, and he's got the history here sort of like from years ago, and he has a history everywhere. It's Tiger Woods, but he's only played 7 times since winning the ZOZO last fall. So it's 7 times out, and 3 of them were pre-COVID, 4 of them were post-COVID. The most recent time we saw him, he missed the cut. So why is he, why is he here? Well, he loves California. He wants to, and he's going to take this seriously. We know that. This isn't like he's coming here and he will play a tournament and not go all out. So if you're going to go in on somebody, like, we're going to see it right away. Tiger's going to be grinding and trying to show his form and his game and himself, his games, so that he feels confident going into Augusta in a couple of weeks. Because that's all we got, dude. We got 3 events or whatever. We got this one, Bermuda, Houston, and then the Masters. So we're gearing up. Tiger's getting ready.
This is actually a big payday for the fall this week. So I think you're going to catch some interest for a lot of guys, not Tiger Woods. Obviously everything's geared toward 3 weeks from now at Augusta National, but one guy in this range, I haven't bet him yet, but I'm considering it. And I saw Pat Mayo tweeted out earlier, which kind of got me thinking, but it's Daniel Berger.
Yeah. I love Berger too.
And here's the reason. He's got no Masters that he's tuning up for. This is the premier event that Daniel Berger is going to play this entire. It's the biggest payday. I think he kind of gets himself up for it. He wants to kind of throw another win in the faces of the board members at Augusta. And why didn't you let me in this week? And it seems like a good course setup for him. I haven't bet that 33 yet, but a guy that I took just below there that we talked to is Adam Scott. 40-1 is a good number on Adam Scott. Look, we heard Tiger and the previous guys who have played here talk about how it's just sort of a strategic second shot golf course. Sets up really well for Adam Scott. He's got a good track record on Nicklaus courses as well. Second at the Memorial last year. He's won the Honda PGA National. We've seen him off a huge layover, just kind of waltz out onto a course down in San Francisco and top 20 at the PGA Championship. He won the Genesis off a big layover in LA, which is nearby in the spring. Sure. So if anyone can just kind of walk in this course, strike the hell out of the ball, put it in the right places. And I think it's a fair number with those guys right around him on win equity. When this guy tees it up, he's there to play. It's an important event for him because he's not out there grinding every week, wants to get some positive momentum flowing heading into the Masters. I think it's a good play. I like Adam Scott.
Yeah, or he's trying out a putter or two, or he's bringing 7 to the course, and now you got practice. Adam Scott, you're betting.
It's one of those things with Adam Scott that you just can't drive yourself nuts over is his putter and what he's going with and what's in the bag on Tuesday. Can anybody sneak a snapshot of what Adam Scott's going with this week? You just hope that and know that he's one of the premier approach players in the PGA Tour. So if he gets it going, should suit well for him. Likes it out there in California too.
Okay, I'm going to go through the 40s and the 50s, and I'm going to go through them, and I'm going to give you a little snapshot of what's in there, and you give me the first thing off the top of your head in one little sentence.
All right.
Fleetwood at 40-1. Can we trust Tommy at this point?
No, I don't at this point. The putter's off, and I think that confidence has sort of trickled down into other parts of his game when he just doesn't feel like he can brush in a 6-footer easily when he needs it.
What about Kokrak off the win and the best putting performance of his life? Are we going back to Kokrak?
We should go back to Kokrak because he ranked second in the model that I ran. It's just I
delete that model.
He probably had a bomb of a Sunday night, and it was just coming off Vegas in his win. And I don't really know what kind of guy he is, but I'm going to back him. But may have some DraftKings shares on Kokrak.
Sungjae Im may have found something on Sunday, but didn't we say that last week? We say that every week because Sungjae plays well on Sundays. But can we trust Sungjae for a whole week?
Sunday Im.
Sungjae Im. I like that. Good one.
No, I didn't bet Sungjae. I think he's close, and I really did consider him. He was the guy that I thought most about in the 50 range, but just no for me.
What about Scheffler at 50 or maybe around that? You could get that. Scheffler, he's too good to be held down for too long. When's he going to win?
Yeah, I saw it at 40. You're right. When is he going to win? I think that he was really gearing up, and I think that the COVID quarantine or whatever you want to call it and the lack of being able to practice and stepping a little bit out of rhythm there kind of hurt him. So I wanted to see some positive steps and towards getting that back at the Shriners. Didn't see that, so I'm not in a position where I'm betting Scheffler at this point at 40-1.
We saw Kokrak with the putter. We also saw Russell Henley. He's here 50-1, putt his life. Oh my gosh, it was the first time in like 3 years he's putted this well. Maybe 2 weeks from now. Are we going back now? Henley's also somebody that didn't make it to the Masters field. So that's his Masters a couple of weeks from now in Houston Open. Should we wait on that for them?
Interested in Henley. I'm going to kind of keep a pulse on him as the week moves on, but did like to see a positive putting week. I think if historically, as he was growing up and early on in his career, he was very much considered a good putter, and it was one of his strengths. Went through a little bit of a downward spiral there, switched up putting coaches. He says he's back to feeling sort of free, and it's become much less thinking for him, which I think has worked out well, and his approaches have been as hot as anyone. So I've got him circled in this range, but have not bet yet.
Jason Day is currently still in the field. Why? Is he going to be in the field?
I don't know. And I kind of might zig when other people zag, and in considering playing Jason Day, I want to hear more. I'm worried that he may withdraw, so I haven't bet him yet, but he was playing really well, and you mentioned this as he was fucking dialed in, and he woke up with a crick in his neck, and I think he's just a pussy, so he pulled out. But look, it's a sore neck. Like, we've all had those. It wasn't an injury, it was a stiff neck, and it is weird to golf with that sort of situation going on. In my eyes, you got to tough it out, see a physio, pop some ibuprofen, get a massage, get out there and play. But it's Jason Day, so he's not going to do that. But
dude, this is what I'm going to do with Jason Day.
Like, he had a lasting injury that should be affecting him the next week. And why would he still be in the field this week if he wasn't intending on playing?
Totally.
I say that every week, but I think his ownership will be really low. And I think it's I just think if he completed the fourth round, no matter what he shot, if he completed the fourth round last week, he'd probably be 35-1.
That's what I'm saying. Okay, so here's what you do. You don't buy the 55. You go and wait and you watch it on Thursday and you decide, okay, after Thursday's round, maybe whatever. You have to eat the couple points on it. You get down to 28 because he played well. Fair. Then do that then and know that you like him or whatever. Maybe you don't. I don't know. But you do maybe decide to go, like you were saying, people that aren't in the Masters field. And I have a list for you. The people that aren't in the Masters field includes Victor Hovland. So this is kind of the time for Victor Hovland to show himself. English. Harry, not in the Masters field. Brian Harmon, birdie Brian. Jesus, he birdied like every hole last week, but bogeyed a lot of them too. But at the same time, he's not in the Masters field. Ryan Palmer, Taylor Gooch, Noren, and Harry Higgs, and Streelman, and Hughes. I think Hughes is in the 2021, but not the 2020 November. But anyway, Damon
Weird.
either. Though you got to look into narratives and reasons and stuff like that. And people
Yeah.
aren't necessarily prepping for Augusta. So don't think everybody is. Is
Right.
Phil here now? It's 70-1. Should we talk about some notable names in the under 100, but not long shot range? It's Phil at 70 because he won last week on the senior tour. What's up with Phil at 70?
God, 2-0 in the senior tour, right?
He's
unbelievable run for Phil. Not taking him here. Steps back way back up in class and just has really shown nothing to be able to compete at PGA Tour events. I think it is more so an accuracy course. And I say that because you see all the Tiger wins and a lot of people just assume that it's bomber, but you look at some of the other guys, right? Zach Johnson, Luke Donald, Graham McDowell, those Jim Furyk won at this course. So I think it's going to be more of a strategic and sort of a plotters and a thinking players course, so to speak. It's not Phil. We know he's just going to step up there with driver and he's able to overpower all these guys on the senior tour. He's not going to overpower Cam Champ this week. I didn't bet anyone from 50 to 100. And it's kind of odd that the books really jumped up. Like everything on the odds board that I'm looking at really goes from like 50 all of a sudden to a bunch of guys at 80 and then 100. There's really nothing in that much in that in between range. You have some guys.
I was going to ask you though,
like
before we leave it, notable names, Paul Casey at 75 or Rose at 80.
No and no.
No? Okay.
I didn't even glance at either one of them. No.
It's crazy to see those like historically good names at those numbers when you're looking at other names that are way lower. I mean, like you got an Answer at 50 or whatever, even Ricky at 50, but then you got a Casey at 75. He's shown more than Ricky's shown.
Yeah, I know. And I see Casey there and he just burns people. He just triple bogeys at the wrong time.
True.
Rose has been very open that he is struggling with his swing right now. Could that be one of them things where he just finds it because he's so good and can get back to being one of the best ball strikers in the world? Yes, it's a fair number if you think you see that coming. But this range is just filled with guys who are struggling with their game right now. You've got Spieth in here. You've got Woodland, Rose, Casey. All these guys are just on a struggle bus. And I'm not going to bet any of them until I see some positive signs.
Well, not to outright win. Maybe you throw a top 10 if you're feeling a little confident and wondering why the name is there. Maybe don't do a win and just do a top 10 and root for that.
Yeah, I would even look maybe if you really like one of them into what their matchup is because their best is better than a lot of the guys' best that they'll be matched up with. They have potential to win a tournament. So, Gary, I would not go anywhere near. I bet Gary last week and he's clearly injured and things are in a really bad place for Gary Woodland. So, but those other three guys I can see is potential being value plays if you want to take them in a matchup.
Long shots for you? Or are you going to wait?
Yeah, I got some.
Okay, let's hear them.
So I took, all right, all triple digits. The first guy I got is Lanto, 100-1 on Lanto, top 10 last week, 7th in approach recently. He's playing really well. He's got a really solid short game. And I think that matters here because a lot of times when I was reading back at some of the things Tiger said in previous winners, a lot of coming into these greens in a strategic Nicklaus course is about missing in the right spots. And sometimes being just off the green is better than being on the green in the wrong spot or taking a shot at a pin and ending up in a bunker where you're dead and you can only make bogey. Sometimes it's better to be just off the green. He's got a really, really good short game lately. And I just feel like every time they show him, he's holing big putts.
Dude, yeah, he's smart. He's a smart player.
I like Lanto. 100-1, 110-1. I took a little flyer on Taylor Gooch.
Okay, we're back to the leaderboard last week. We're gonna get those numbers. All right.
Listen, that means he's in good form, right? So
yeah, I love it. I'm just saying the recent form.
It's really hard to predict Gooch, and that he's very. One week he misses the cut, the next week he top tens. Top 20 greens in regulation. Good short game for Gooch as well. If he can get the putter going with a little bit of confidence, I think he's decent. And 140-1, I really feel like I stole this number this morning. I'm not sure if it's still out there, but it was Cam Champ.
Yeah, I got it too.
I know he's pretty bad right now.
He's good. It's a putter.
When he plays really an advantage. Look, I talk all about accuracy matters, but when you're Cam Champ and you hit 9 fairways in a day, you're leaps and bounds ahead of the field. some of these par fives are 530 yards. He's going to be coming in with a fucking 9-iron. Like, seriously, if he
I know,
hits
it's crazy. He's going to have an eagle
350,
opportunity every time.
those are my guys.
Cool. I'm in for that. Now, what about yourself in terms of preferred plays? Like, what's the JT? That's your favorite or what?
Yes.
Okay.
JT is my favorite slightly, but I really like that I'm getting back on Matt Wolff this week. And I think a couple people may have stepped off the train.
How dare they?
I just feel like I played it right. It's like that poker hand where you could lose, but you feel like you know that you played it right. So I knew that I was on him. I felt shitty about missing with all these second places, but we were right. I feel confident that we were right about his chances at the US Open. We were right about his chances at the 3M. All this stuff, we were right to sort of pivot off last week. I'm going to hop back on. Those are my top two guys. My other bets are Adam Scott, 40-1 right now, and those three guys at 100-1 plus that I listed. What about you? Who you got? What's your card like?
APPR always, or ABPR always bet Patrick Reed, because why not? At 22 and $9 for that, it's fine. I like Patrick Cantlay. Can't talk me off that at 28. I think that's the number. I'm betting the number 28. It's been our lucky number, Joe, and I got Wolff there, but I also got Wolff at 33. So got Wolff both times. And we didn't talk about him, but Joaquin Niemann, I like that.
I'm a little worried. I didn't mention him on purpose because I've been on him a lot, and I'm not this week, and I don't think I'm going to. So I'm a little worried to kind of jinx him, and that's one guy I'm nervous about getting.
Well, they bumped him up finally. He's 40.
Yeah, they bumped him up a little bit. You're right. Well, he was 64 last week. I got.
Yeah, I know exactly. It's crazy. They're finally like, oh yeah, Niemann's good. Shit.
Yeah.
I like Berger too at 40, and I like him always. I meant to mention Cam Smith because you're looking at this par 5 stuff, and you're like, who's good at par 5s? And I looked over the last 12 rounds, which is like recent par 5 performance. Cam Smith is number fucking 1 at par 5 strokes gained total or whatever the last 12 rounds. Cam Smith ahead of Wolff, Bubba, Finau, and Hovland. So Cameron Smith, potential long shot.
Wow.
So what about the trivia this week? Are we going to give something away? Thank you for sticking with us. If you haven't retweeted or liked or subscribed, do some of that for us. Oh, you just did something. We're giving you something.
Yeah, I was just kind of teasing the giveaway time. So listen, we're gonna try. I think this was fun last week, right? We did a couple little trivia questions, and I don't know, it was cool. Let's see what.
Yeah, and if you're a listener of iTunes and you're too late, then you can click off now, or you can wait to hear who wins.
Okay. So for those in the chat here,
on Periscope.
This is on the Periscope chat. Yes.
Okay.
So if you were on Twitch, I'll give you a couple seconds here to pivot over.
Okay.
Or YouTube. You got to be in the Periscope chat. So first giveaway of the night before we do the questions. Give people a couple seconds to get ready. Preferred Lines T. I will send it to you. Icon logo right here. Pretty dope.
Is there anything on the back?
No.
Okay.
Just black tee. So you are going to DM me your size, and I will mail you a shirt.
Unless you're a triple small or a quadruple X.
Unless you're size I don't have, then you'll have to just get it and give it to somebody that's bigger. All right. So there is one player that has won at Sherwood Country Club when it was the Hero Challenge and the Shark Shootout. He's hoisted both trophies at this at this country club, Sherwood CC. If you know the answer to that question, please comment now.
Joe, did you know what ZOZO is?
No. What is ZOZO?
I Googled it. It's a retail shopping center business. Like they do like the shopping malls.
I thought that place was pretty awesome last year.
Oh yeah, for sure. And they're not going back to
they aren't.
They're not going back to 9 Bridges or something. I don't know what they're doing.
They are changing the course that they're going to over there, which I thought that place last year was sweet. There were some awesome holes. And they got a sick field because they're paying, right? Oh, we've got a winner. Stuck on Pure, Davis Love the third.
Dude, I didn't even know that. I was going to say
Yeah, so
Tiger. I was like, dude, you're giving us the Tiger?
He actually won the Hero Challenge when it was Tiger's event twice. He won the Shark Shootout, which is the team event, which is now like the QBE Shootout.
Was Shark like Greg Norman?
Yeah, the Greg Norman.
Cool.
So it was Davis Love the third. So
DM us.
say? Stuck on Pure. You want a t-shirt? DM me the size and we will send it to you.
Okay, one more or what?
Yeah, I got one more. Okay. Actually, I've been meaning to give this away. This is pretty sweet. So our buddy who was on for the Open, God, it seems like forever ago. Jason Sobel, Action Network, lead golf guy, sent me some of these sick hats, right? Golf bet hat. It does have a tag on it, so I haven't worn it. Action Network logo on the side, golf bet on the back. Look at that. Triple embroidered, sort of dad hat style. It's actually a really sweet hat.
One size fits all.
One size fits most.
Oh yeah, America.
One size fits most, but fire hat from the Action Network. We got some buddies over there. Our guy Josh, Jason Sobel,
Darren Ravel,
good dudes. Darren Ravel. That was a lot.
Amanda chick.
Amanda, yeah, she killed it last week, huh? Right.
No idea. Did she?
I don't know. She caught some flack because sometimes she caught some serious flack, but it's from the guys who usually give the flack. You know what I'm talking about? I don't want to say the T word, but you know the crew that's out there.
Dude,
everything
that was said was just
they love to
honest questions. Honest
shit
questions
on people, right? But some of the things
who give away the shirt. What are you gonna do?
She can improve on. All right, I'm rattling on. You're right. Okay.
Or no, it's a hat. Give away the hat. The action hat.
This is the hat. This is gonna be an easy one. All right. Course record holder. Who is it? Don't say it. Remember the rules of this. Even if you know it, you can't say it.
But I'm just saying the answer wasn't it given away?
Maybe,
earlier?
But you know,
somebody said it. Somebody said it earlier in the broadcast. So the answer, you don't even have to Google if you've been paying attention.
If you've just been paying attention, yeah, you would know the answer. I think our guy, Capping, gave the answer.
Which is crazy that he's anonymous.
He is anonymous.
Good for him, though. He's doing well enough that he has to be anonymous.
Imagine how...
You can find me anywhere. I'm not anonymous, actually. I'm a realtor in Minnesota. If you need to buy or sell a house, stay in Minnesota. Hey, that's the advertisement for the week.
But really, you guys should retweet the show and comment.
Or go to the thing and buy shirts. If you want to buy one of these things, you can.
Yeah, we should put the link in the bio or something. That like helps us. Like little things you can do, like subscribe. If you enjoy this at all, subscribe, comment, just be like, these guys, don't be like one of the bots that tries to like
with the heart emojis.
Yeah, that tries to like pick us up on YouTube. We are married men.
You date me?
You know, right now, you want to know the most impressive thing about this show? I'll tell you. And I'll get to the winner here in a second because somebody got it right. The most impressive thing about this show is there are 4 children under the age of 4 within like 25 feet of where we're sitting, and you guys didn't hear them all episode long. That's impressive. 4 kids under 4. They're all asleep. We're talking golf. It's good stuff. All right. Anyways, the winner is, well, Stuck on Pure got it first, but he already won something.
Wow, Mr. Stuck on Pure. Why don't you go on Jeopardy, Stuck on Pure? You're so smart with your answer.
Romo, YWK, what you doing? Dustin shot a 61 here. You know what's kind of sketchy about this 61 though? So they have the plaque, and I saw the plaque. So the 61 was witnessed by Wayne, Tristan, and Janet Gretzky.
Mm-hmm.
So
Wayne's
come on. Like,
Wayne's a member there.
Is that legit?
Well,
it's like your
you have
family
a father-in-law,
saying, like,
Joe?
yeah, your family's gonna make you putt every out. I don't know. Like,
Do you have a
can't just say I'm-
father-in-law? Your father-in-law wants you to not
He goes,
break
"No,
the course
not
record.
anywhere near a golf course."
No, mine's a
But you can't-
scratch.
But come on, you can't like. I don't know. It's just weird. You've got to have someone else there who should not be an immediate family member that judge whether you shot the course record or not. Not your father-in-law and his son and his wife.
Dude, there was someone
Weird.
that was walking around with him. You know, Wayne and his wife wanted the plaque. They wanted to be on the plaque with him.
Not to say it's not legit. I'm sure it's legit. Dustin is very straight. I don't know what I was gonna say there, but you guys got it.
Yeah.
All right.
right.
So
That's it. Like and subscribe.
good show, I think.
It was good enough.
Yeah, it was good
ZOZO.
enough. Strokes gain capping. Thanks for
Thank you.
joining us.
Yes.
Like we said earlier, help us out. Like, subscribe, buy a t-shirt. I will mail it out to you. What is this?
I'm going to play the music and get us out of here.
Play the music. Thanks for coming. For real. Peace, guys. We'll see you if you're Houston.